Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success. Henry Ford said this many years ago. Good evening, Ghana. Hello, the world. And welcome to Star Chat. This is your most compelling destination for legacy conversations where stories unfold, leadership is demystified, and the hearts behind the headlines are brought to light. You know what? Tonight, we journey into the mind of a man who has turned classrooms into kingdoms of possibility. Indeed, this is a man whose every step tells a story of discipline, destiny, and divine purpose. From the quiet corridors of Jache Pramso, where dreams were first written in chalk, to the global halls of academia in Los Angeles, where vision took form, he has carried one truth with him through it all, if you ask me, and that's education is not merely instruction. It is transformation. He was born on the 9th of April, 1964, in the Ashanti region. Well, his journey began at Kumasi High School and continued at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Tonight, he'll be telling us more, where he earned a bachelor's degree in land economy, crossed continents, earning a master's in education management from the University of LA, and a PhD in educational policy, planning, and administration from the University of Southern California. So there's more to it. Before politics ever called, he was a teacher, a craftsman of young minds, shaping futures with chalk, compassion, and conviction. Call it the Triple C. In 2004, he founded the New Designs Charter Schools in California, a beacon of innovation, redefining how learning communities should thrive. He shaped lives at Manual Arts High School, led International Studies Academy, and contributed to national education policy models, bridging high school and career readiness. His influence extended further as he served as a lead math teacher in USC Manual Arts Neighborhood Academic Initiative, joined a task force by the National Research Council for Career and Technical Education, and in 2021 became an advisory board member of the Capacity Building Center at UCLA. Now that's a tough one and a huge call indeed. But he returned home, yes, returning home to Ghana. Ghana found in him a man of action, and he has personally awarded scholarships to over 90 students pursuing engineering and medicine in his constituency, inching closer to his vision of supporting 100 young Ghanaians over a decade. Appointed Minister of Education in 2021 by the former president after serving as Deputy Minister for 4 years, he championed the free senior high school policy and now leads a bold initiative to construct 35 STEM senior high schools and 5 STEM universities as well across the nation. So he's nurturing future scientists, I dare say engineers and innovators. He was recognized as the best performing deputy minister in 2019 by ASEPA and FACS. His accolades are many. But you know what? His true measure is really the impact he leaves on lives. So tonight we are sitting down with him. We'll talk politics, where he's consistently earned the trust of his people, winning the Bosumtwe constituency seat in 2016, 2020, and 2024 with an overwhelming support. And his vision stretches even further to 2028, where he's actually seeking. He's aspiring to lead the new patriotic party as flag bearer, carrying not just a political mantle, but the hopes of generation longing for progress. Tonight, we sit with a man who believes in education. And he thinks that, look, Bola, that is liberation. Leadership is service, and vision is destiny. A visionary with a blueprint. We welcome you, Dr. Yaw Adutwum. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
And we love all that you're doing. And I want to call you YOA, Yaw Osei Adutwum, the visionary. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Doc, it's a pleasure to have you live on Star Chat. And
yes.
I should say that we're live here in Accra on Starr 103.5 FM. We're also live in Takrady on Empire 102.7 FM and in Kumasi on Ultimate 106.9 FM. And our proud sponsors are Johnny Walker, Stanbic Bank, and Africa Prosperity Network. So we're here on Starr Chat. My name is Bola Ray, and you're most welcome. So once again, Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, welcome.
Yes, great.
How have you been, Doc?
Great. I can't complain.
You can't complain.
I can't
Now,
complain.
you look at, walk us through a typical day in your life, Doc. How's a day like?
The life has changed. We are in opposition. So a typical day is different from the typical day as a minister.
Right.
And a typical day as a deputy minister. So things have changed a bit, but yet I'm busy.
You're busy.
Very busy now, contesting for flagbearership of the New Patriotic Party. Have to travel around the country, villages, towns, share my vision for a new Ghana. Right. A Ghana where we'll be able to wage war against poverty and win that war and put to rest this challenge of people struggling to make ends meet.
Right. So life in opposition, is it really tough? I mean, comparatively, you are a deputy minister, MP, minister of education, and now, how is it like?
You see, the point of the matter is that you look at what you couldn't finish and say to yourself, wow, I wish I was in government to finish gifted and talented education. And I said, wow, I wish we had passed free compulsory universal secondary education so that there would be no excuse for any child to walk the streets, walk the villages and say, I'm going to do something that I'm not supposed to do. Be able to say to yourself, I wish I had completed the girls' STEM high schools at West Africa Senior High School and the one at Kumasi Girls. I wish all this had been completed. Even though they are ongoing, you still feel like, I wish I had
You were in there still.
Yeah.
Do you miss that? And on the back of that too, a day after elections when you realized that your party had actually lost the elections, how did you feel? How did you take it?
First is unbelief. Have we really, really lost it? And then reality then sets in, and then you see people preparing the Independence Square for the swearing ceremony of the new president. Say, wow, we've actually lost it.
At first it was disbelief. You didn't believe that, look, your party had lost power.
Yeah.
Were you convinced that with all that was happening leading up to the elections and maybe 2 weeks to the elections, were you very positive that you would win it, hands down? Tell me.
I had some belief based on the fact that I saw the work we've done in education. So I felt strongly.
Was education the only pillar that you thought would win you the election? I
thought some people would make an exception and say, if for nothing, look at what they did. You see, STEM education that people have talked about for years has now become a reality. We're building model junior high schools the country has never seen before. We had commissioned public schools like Accra STEM Academy. Never thought I would be a reality in this great country called Ghana. So I gave the state of education address to the whole country, gave a powerful presentation of what we have been able to do in education. And we look at the fact that just around that time, we had been rated highly by Ibrahim. And you begin to take a look at it and say, probably people will look at this and say, maybe there are some disappointments here and there. But we can take a look at this and say...
At education, so you were convinced in your mind that if for nothing at all, education was going to help you win the election. It was a strong pillar.
I believe that the extent to which we had delivered are things that people never thought could be a reality. I felt that there are some who make an exception and say, at least if we look at this. But I also felt strongly that there are some other areas where we have done well.
Like what?
And roads, for example. See, if you look at the extent to which some work had been done in that area, and if the experts are talking to you about the number of roads that have been done, the miles that have been done, and especially if you are able to connect with what they have done with drone shots of roads, bridges, and other
but
things
still,
that have been
the
done.
people of Ghana didn't vote for you. I mean, contractors were up in arms every now and then for non-payments. Accra and Sawam Road was in a very bad shape till President Mahama came. Accra Motorway, some work has commenced because people said, oh, we're not paid and all of that. And people were like, agreed.
You know, now look at what is going on now. Some contractors are also complaining. So it's not something that was happening just in one government. We have to find a way to solve that problem, where you award contracts and the money should be committed in such a way that once the work is done, people should be paid.
And that's something if voted as president, you will change.
We have to. We have to. Because
why couldn't your government then, of which you are education minister, see to that? And
I'm glad you say of which you were the education minister, not the finance minister.
Right.
You're education minister, you do your work. You see, it's not as how people perceive it to be, that once you're in cabinet, you get to look at finance minister, have you done your work? Have you done this? No, it's not how. It's a collegial environment where you express your opinions. Okay. People have their own constraints.
That's right.
You see, I stepped into education and I saw all the gaps in the Ghanaian education system because I was uniquely placed to see the gaps. You cannot be somebody who had a PhD in education, taught in the classroom, built schools in the US, you've run those schools, you brought innovation to the US education system where you were able to get US high school graduates to go to universities, and your school was doing 85% high school to university. And the average in California was 45%. And we're doing 85%.
Wow.
I had brought innovation to the American education space where every student coming to high school selected a career pathway. Those who want to do law.
And you introduced that?
I introduced that. In my school, you chose to do engineering or medical sciences or law, and students who wanted to be lawyers did the career pathway in law. They will visit courtrooms, meet judges. They did
that was highly practical.
Yes, they did moot court in my school. In fact, law schools partnered with my high school to bring their students there, and there are times that we partner with them to do moot court. I went back recently, and there's a young lady whose father was my janitor, custodian, the cleaner. And that young lady is now a lawyer because she was part of the law academy of my school. So
and you're saying your school, you owned the school,
yes,
you own it.
3 schools.
3 schools in the
Los
USA.
Angeles, California. Yes, they are all there. So the bottom line is this. I came into a sector with some unique experiences. I could see the gaps. I entered as a minister and I knew exactly what we needed to do in the Ghanaian education space. So I was able to convince the World Bank, other organizations to give me funds. I was able to convince Kuwait Fund to allow me to use some leftover funds to build STEM schools for girls. So
how many did you build during your tenure as a minister, substantive minister for education?
You see, we have model junior high schools, which were the STEM ones.
Correct.
And then we had those that began from kindergarten to high school. The Accra STEM Academy was a unique one here, not too far from
That's
here.
Right.
Where students coming from kindergarten and you are there to high school. So that was a unique model. It's a community school model.
How many of such did you?
We only did one. But the junior high schools across the country were able to do about 15. Chamba, you come to Ashanti region, almost every eastern region, Asim Kushia, we did a 2-story, beautiful one there, let for equipment to be placed in them, go to Nyinahini, they are there. So we're able to jump in. A number of areas across the country were able to do this model junior high school that was STEM. And the good news was that these are junior high schools that have biology, chemistry, and physics labs. So essentially, what I saw as a gap in the Ghanaian education system was the fact that we had a very weak middle. The missing link, the weakest link in the education system, as I speak with you, is the junior high school.
the missing link or the weakest link in our educational system here in Ghana is the junior high school. How so, Doc?
You see, the thing is this. When it was our time in secondary school, you had the O-level, A-level. We had 7 years of secondary education. And for those who came from, I would say, villages and to some extent some areas of town where things were difficult, you do your middle school. So after primary school, you did a middle school, and some would do 1 year, some would do 2 years, and from there you go to secondary of 7 years.
That's right.
So what we did as a nation was to transition to junior high school and then cut 4 years off the secondary. And then in our own law, we said that junior high school is part of basic, not part of secondary. So essentially, Ghana is one of the few nations in the world with a 3-year secondary education.
That gets you worried.
Very worried. So once you say your secondary is 3 years, how does 3 years prepare a student to do quality university work?
Why didn't you change that as a Minister for Education? Did you rally government officials and the president around that, look, we should do something?
The president was so excited about that. We were able to get the bill approved by cabinet. It was actually in parliament about to be passed. And then you remember when this issue about we are no longer majority came. Parliament was boycotted. Essentially, the minority ran a campaign against us.
Minority then.
And therefore, all these bills were stuck. The free compulsory universal secondary education bill for the first time was going to give a 6-year secondary education. Junior high schools were all going to be upgraded to a high school level. So there was no longer going to be a case that you have a dilapidated building called junior high school, which we inherited from the old middle schools. So the junior high schools are built, and which was very unique. This was the first time we did not enact the law before we started the infrastructure. We were building the infrastructure so that once you enact the law, the buildings were ready. And that is why we have junior high schools that have biology, chemistry, and physics lab. Because we're upgrading the junior high schools to a secondary level, no longer basic.
So you were in the process of making it, not a 3-year.
A 6-year secondary.
By 6-year secondary.
But there were 2 options. If you are putting up a new school like what we're doing at East Legon,
right,
then you attach the junior high and the high school.
Correct.
So that gives you 6-year secondary at the same location. In other towns and villages, you will still allow the secondary school to exist wherever it is, but the junior high school there should be upgraded to become secondary. So if you were to attend Drobonso Junior High, you have secondary education there. The first 3 years of secondary. Then you go to Jabin or any other time to do the next 3 years of secondary. But eventually, the whole idea was that why don't we put the 6 in one place? So,
are you going to do that if you become president?
Yes.
God willing, 2028.
Yes. It will be one of the first things that we do as a nation. Because you see, we've created 2 Ghanas. Ghana for the rich, Ghana for the poor. In Ghana for the rich, they are enjoying quality 6-year or sometimes 7-year secondary education. Ghana for the poor, they only have 3-year secondary education. And the junior high school is part of basic. There's no equipment and tools, no lab, nothing to give them quality 6 years. The first time they see a science lab is in the last 3, which is the senior high. So the concept is that you cannot educate our children across the board to be fit for purpose in this 21st century, in this industrial revolution, without giving them 6-year secondary. So other countries have done it.
So, Doc, that gets you worried, essentially. Granted, yes, you've lost the 2024 elections, you've moved on. But if President Mahama had said to you that because of what you have started, Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, get into my government and let's help do this and implement your suggestion, would you have done that for the sake of Ghana?
This question were posed to me.
Will you do that?
No, I gave a very simple answer. For the sake of Ghana, I'm willing to do anything for this country.
That's right.
Because
you wouldn't mind to be the substantive education minister under the NDC, although you are NPP, for the sake of Ghana.
I mean, if the agenda is clear, the vision is clear, the support is there, I would do anything for my country. But I know in the Ghanaian political space, in America it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, America is having. Right. Gates became the defense minister. He continued when Obama came and all those things. But within our political context, I mean, in Africa, we look at politics before transformation. Right. So it's difficult for you to have that scenario.
How do we change that mindset now? It seems it's so polarized. People feel, they've taken an entrenched position. You are liberal, you are open-minded. How do we get to change such mindsets?
You see, the thing is this. Politics will always be politics. But me, what I believe is that it's not so much about somebody continuing in another party's government, but the ideals, the issues that was being pursued, so far as it was in alignment with our national transformation agenda, why can't we just continue? And if the person's expertise is needed, whether behind the scenes, whatever form it takes, tap into the person's expertise, change the country once and for all. And that's why I have this idea that, God willing, I'm the president of Ghana. There are certain critical commissions that will be bipartisan. Like if you go to National Communication Authority and all those places, there are certain institutions. If you look at Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC. Yeah. If you are looking at their council.
But that is not political. That is...
No, but the people are appointed to serve on the board. Parties appoint people to serve on these boards. You see?
But they cast the net wide. They bring technical people. They bring people who are knowledgeable and professionals, to be fair.
You see, what we fail to probably understand is that the chairman is appointed by the political. It's a political appointment. Invariably, for those technical commissions, they bring qualified people.
You will do that differently.
I think that we have to look at the laws that authorize such appointments. And for certain critical institutions, you do as they do in the US. For certain commissions, it's bipartisan. How does it work? They look at a commission, let's say National Development Planning Commission. If there are certain appointments, what you try to do, make it bipartisan. What it means is that the government in power, if we have 5 political appointees, the government in power appoints 3. Government in opposition appoints 2. So there's institutional memory. It only switches as to majority and not so much as to the people that serve on it. So if you look at issues bordering on education and you want to ensure continuity, if there was a commission in charge of certain key critical development agenda of our nation, you want to ensure that it's bipartisan. And the whole idea is that you can't take politics out of certain things. So do it right by making sure that whether this group is in power or not in power, there's a certain representation. So
it has to do with the system.
Yes. So we have to create a system that allows for some element of bipartisanship so that you can move the country ahead. So if you were to do a commission to transform education in Ghana, don't just say that we are going to appoint these people and these are people with technical expertise. They may have their leanings towards a certain party. Okay. If there are 2 main political parties, there's nothing wrong by saying for this particular commission, it's bipartisan. Wow. But the government in power will have more people on this commission. The government that's not out of power will also have some representation. So both political parties will take responsibility for whatever happens under that commission. That's right. So it's not going to be, if it had not been for this government that did this, this would have been different. So what I'm saying is that we really have to begin to look at development architecture and begin to say, how do we transform Ghana?
Would you say that also for chief directors, for CEOs of public institutions, that maybe we should begin to look at professionals and be bipartisan and look at it? Okay, so if this is the Forestry Commission, we feel that this person is a technocrat, this person is knowledgeable and can be there, and so be it. Or even promote people internally who deserve it and not going, and I'm just using the Forestry Commission, it can be the NCA, it can be like the NDPC, which you mentioned. Should we begin to look at that?
You see, my brother, we'll begin to look at that when there's a sense of urgency that this country has to be changed. When that sense of urgency is about how do we wage war against poverty and win this war. When we begin to have the empathy for the people of this country and begin to see that today, as I speak with you, tomorrow morning, somebody doesn't know what food they are going to eat. The World Bank is talking about 1 in every 3 Ghanaians are poor. Life is tough. And for those of us who are here, sitting in an environment like this, if we begin to feel for the rest of the country, there are certain compromises we are willing to make for the sake of transforming our country. If it's not about transforming the country, we'll treat it as politics as usual. It's the same old story. I won, and therefore I have to be in charge. The people gave me the mandate. But if you want to tell yourself that we've gotten mandates and every president of this country have done their very best since the time of the first president of the Republic, President Nkrumah, all the way. And yet, a number of our people are wallowing in poverty, and something ought to be done. We have to create the golden age of job creation and make sure the teeming youth of our nation, we create hubs, IT hubs, innovation hubs, and get them working. If that is the goal, then we are going to say to ourselves, it is mean tap into the skill of the opposition party, so be it.
It's as if we are winning me over with all that you say, because I can see empathy. I can see the charisma. I can see that this is a man of the people, and you really want to go on a journey with them. But you had that chance as Minister of Education. You were in cabinet. Why didn't we see this in terms of getting down to the rural folks? Yes, as an MP, you might have done that, but on a national scale.
On a national scale, I'll tell you one thing.
Were there challenges?
I'll tell you one thing.
Yes.
One day, I was passing by a school called St. Barnabas. I just went to the school to see them. I used to do that, unannounced visit. So I told my driver and the people to turn around. Let's go to St. Barnabas. Let me see the school. It's a school in Osu.
In Osu?
Osu.
Okay.
I went there, and the level of dilapidation was hard to understand. This is Accra. Osu, of all places. Roofs leaking.
Wow.
The kind of space the children were living in. And I said to myself, this should not continue. So right then and then, I put in some course. The next week, I brought a team of engineers, architects to St. Barnabas. And I told the teachers that we're going to change this. But I took pictures with the children. There's an Anglican school, so the old Anglican school uniform, blue with white. And so it reminded me as somebody who went to Anglican school growing up. And I said, nothing has changed. We're going to change St. Barnabas. Wow. I was fully determined. Within 8 months, we had rehabilitated the building, retrofitted, changed the whole place.
I hope you can share some photos with us, and we can also put it on our social media pages.
They'll show. Right. And if you go and see St. Barnabas now, it tells you everything is possible in Ghana. Wow. And then I changed the school uniforms.
You did?
Yes. So black and white with tie. And the parents. And after that, I went and had a meeting with the PTA, met the parents of St. Barnabas. The place was packed. Education Minister was coming to see them. Had a nice discussion. And I told them, I wanted to create a better opportunity for their children. That's why I changed the school for the whole country to see that change is possible. I was able to get funding from the World Bank. The place changed. And I remember going there, and a parent, a Ghanaian lady, asked me, "You are an Ashanti. Why are you interested in Ghana children succeeding?" I said, "Ma'am, it's about Ghana.
It's about Ghana.
And about what we can do." And when I was living there, I asked them to create a fund, and I made a donation to the fund. The whole purpose of the fund is to take the children on field trips to University of Ghana, to other selected high schools. I want the junior high school student mindsets to change, that they may not be living in those beautiful buildings or so. They may be coming from the slum. They may be coming from very difficult neighborhoods. But once they see University of Ghana, they will understand that one day they also go there. When they did the field trip, I was no longer the minister, but they sent me the pictures of the excitement in the faces of the children. I also went and saw Osu Presec. Whenever I hear Presec, it's Legon Presec. Right. I went to Osu Presec and I was not happy with the classrooms. We rehabilitated the entire school. Now you go to Osu Presec, and it's a different school. My whole thing is that I believe in the future of this country, and that's what drives me and moves me to do what I do. When I visited school Sempe and I saw the students, I said, you know what, bring them to my office so I can have a chat with them. I also arranged for them to go and see Kimpiski. I wanted those children to go inside Kimpiski, and I'm grateful to the management of Kimpiski. They allowed the children to go in there. They took them on a field trip, a trip of Kimpiski, for them to see the hotel. And then after that, they came to my office and we had lunch together. In fact, I brought those students back on my birthday to cut a cake with them. Wow. I believe that when you are determined to change the course of history of your nation, you can. And it's not about money. Right. I tell people all the time, the work that I did, I came at the time of COVID, post-COVID, limited resources, but I had a sense of urgency. I knew Ghana cannot become like Singapore if we do not embrace STEM education and do it the way they did it. So I was able to talk to the World Bank. I talked to the Arab Development Bank. I talked to Big Win, a number of organizations.
Funding available.
Yes, yes, and I got the funding to do the work I did in the COVID era. So the bottom line for me is this. I was able to look at our nation and say, I know how Ghana can be transformed. And if I know how Ghana can be transformed, then our education system must respond to that transformation agenda. So ideally, transform education to transform Ghana. If you transform education, then we can participate in the fourth industrial revolution. Then you'll be able to build factories and run the factories very well. Because now, interestingly, if you look at what is going on, more jobs are being created in the IT field, as more jobs are also being lost because of IT. AI is leading to the loss of jobs. Even there are certain coding jobs that are being lost. But when it comes to software development, more jobs are being created in that area. So the country that succeeds is the country that does STEM education and lifts your people up. And by the way, change mindset. If you don't do change mindset, people will know that this is the opportunity, but they will not be shepherded there. So if you look at the curriculum that I developed, which unfortunately we get all the books done, but we couldn't implement, there's something called growth mindset. It's taught in American schools. If you go to Lincoln School here in Ghana, they teach it to the student, called growth mindset. Growth mindset is where children believe that everything is possible, where they see challenges, problems as challenges, and the children are super.
So it's a subject on its own?
Yes. You just teach it for a very short period of time. You can do it in a month or 2 months, and then children are thinking differently. If you look at the courses we have now brought into high schools in Ghana, biomedical science is being taught in our high schools, engineering is being taught, aviation and aerospace is being taught. Children are designing and deploying drones in Ghanaian high schools. You can only do that when it runs concurrently with the teaching of growth mindset. So instead of looking at all the challenges of the country, the problems of the country, Ghanaian children should be taught to know that these challenges are your opportunities.
I can see that STEM is very dear, to you, and you're very passionate about it. And you wear many hats: a teacher, you're a reformer, you're a visionary, a politician. Which of these identities, for you, feels very authentic, or who?
I believe politics.
You are. It truly defines you. Politics.
I believe politics is a force for good. And where I get excited is when I'm able to use political power to help others live a life that they couldn't have lived without me being in the political space. You know, the students, engineers that will get to see you, some of them you saw. These were young men and women living in villages and towns in Bosomtwe. They had graduated from high school, had done very well in science at the high school, and they were sitting, some of them were sitting in their villages, waiting for opportunity. And the opportunity met them when I sent my staff to go and recruit students that I can sponsor to become engineers. The first group, 31, graduated last November.
31 engineers. And these are people who are done with secondary education, but no hope to go to the university.
Yes. And I was the keynote speaker for graduation of UMAT as a Minister for Education. My last one, keynote speech at a university. And at that graduation, 31 students from my constituency that I had fully sponsored, paid their tuition, paid for their hostel, and gave them stipends to take care of themselves. And these students were in the audience.
Wow.
And they came to receive diploma from me. For every one of them, I stood for them.
Wow.
And that was a day I will never forget. So politics and feeling good about yourself because you've done something for people, politics and philanthropy, all begins with P.
Does that make you fulfilled?
More than fulfilled. I mean, when I meet these young men and women, and they are telling their stories, that is what makes me feel like I came into this world and God has used me to bless others. So in my political journey, what I'm concerned about and what makes me happy is when I'm able to lift children. I'm able to get others to do better than what they could have imagined if I was not part of their journey. I want to be part of the journey of all Ghanaians who are struggling, for whom life is challenging. People who are working, and they are working hard, but they are not receiving livable wages. Working poor should be eliminated from the face of this country. People are struggling. Life is difficult. And I want to create a golden age of job creation in this country.
I can see that yours is a life of impacts, empowerment,
Yes.
and legacy. We'll come back to that as well. Recently, there was a discussion on short hair policy, in secondary schools. You actually had a piece and a bite on that. And you emphasized that the short hair policy is driven by hygiene and safety. And for you, it's not about discipline. Yeah. What is your position, really?
What is about discipline regarding this?
You disagree with the Education Minister that
it's not a discipline issue.
It's not a discipline issue?
No, why is there a discipline issue? Ghanaian children, Ghanaian children are the finest you can find anywhere in the world. It's how you talk to them.
You believe that there's no correlation between discipline and maybe growing of hair?
No, the reason why I'm saying we shouldn't couch it within the context of discipline is that most of the students will not even resist. If you tell them to cut their hair, about 95% will cut it. So why do we have to couch this within the context of some student resisting our authority? No.
For you, it's about hygiene and safety.
And communication with the parents. About convenience.
That should have been what we should have hinged our message on.
That you meet the parents. Let the parents know your child is coming to boarding school. You know that getting time and opportunity for the hair to be done will be not a nuisance, but will be an inconvenience. So please, as it has always been done, let your child cut their hair. It's much easier for them to keep it clean. And I was giving the example of my schools in the US, where our policy was very simple. These children, they have long hair.
Yes.
And all that we told the parents was that if your child has a long hair, during PE, somebody can pull it. It can be a safety issue.
Okay.
So, if you don't want to cut it and trim it, then they have to do it like a pony, right? So fold it, tie it, and put it at the back so that nobody will pull it and cause harm to your child. We also let them know that long hair, sometimes you can have lice in the hair of these children, and we saw it in our schools.
And you drowned that message in your school?
Yeah, in the school. So our hair policy was very simple. Every parent knew it wasn't about discipline because no child was resistant. So why do we couch this message within the context of discipline?
Do you have an issue with how it was communicated?
Yes. I think many times what we do as adults in this country is to remind the child needlessly that you are a child and I'm the adult. There are some children who are not challenging our position as adults. When we say things, they do. But we also understand that the High Court in the Achimota case said for religious reasons, some parents can ask for exception. So I don't see why we should measure in minors. These are small things. So.
But it was during your time that the Achimota issue came up and how it was handled.
You heard my position on this. So people, when I said that, while people are talking about going to mass,
yes,
we are talking about some young man should cut the hair. There are people who are saying, why do you say that? But that young man got accepted to all Ivy League schools.
Right. Got UPenn,
and those who were cutting their hair, they go there. So my concern is that when we are not careful, we'll treat most of these issues as discipline, as an issue that we need to fight over. And I'm saying, it's communication. When parents come and you explain things to them, and you say this is convenient, this is hygiene, this is safety, majority of them will agree with you.
Right. And
the children will also see the wisdom in what you are telling her as an adult. But when we couch it within the context of we are the adults and you have to do what we ask you to do, almost like we will not give you any explanation, you better do it, and if you don't do it, and most of the children are saying, am I even resisting you?
So you find that to be problematic. Well, we'll be going for a break, and when we come back, there's a lot that we'll talk about. But quickly before the break, in your experience abroad, and you mentioned students maintain long hair under safety measures. You can ask them to tie it back, during physical activities. How would you adapt a similar flexible model here in our Ghanaian, schools?
I mean, that is what the law has directed us to do. That the bottom line is that schools, based on policy, can require children to cut their hair. But if there are some parents who are requesting for exception, especially based on culture and religion, we have to make that exception. So to me, as of now, that's where we stand. But you see, when you look at students in private schools, most of them are not burdened anyway. So they keep their hair, nobody makes any case about it. And then at Chimota, what becomes problematic for some parents is when they see white girls from UK coming on exchange program at Achimota and they are maintaining their hair. So it makes people feel like it's a double standard. So that is why I believe that the best way about this is a dialogue with parents, getting parents to understand this is why we are doing this.
Right.
But it's not about us asserting any authority and saying because we say so, everybody should do it. We should rather say, we are doing this for this reason. Right. And I think that is my approach. But obviously, when children have their hair cut, it helps them in terms of the convenience, going about their work and don't have to go and look at how they can perm, how they can do this. So there's a convenience element to it. But if for a certain reason, as the law requires, exception should be made, exception must be made.
Interesting. So we'll be right back after this. We'll get into the Hoop Tour property. And of course, we will get to know you growing up and all that you had to do. We'll talk about the Germany issue and your brother, what you had to do. But it's only on Star Chat. We'll be right back. All right, so time for me to tell you about APD. Are you a young entrepreneur, a woman building something remarkable, a young man running something great, SME ready to expand beyond our borders? Well, we have some great news for you. This is your moment. Under the patronage of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, and in partnership with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, the Africa Prosperity Network presents the Africa Prosperity Dialogues. So yes, it's coming up, something big for everyone, and you don't want to miss out on that one. Yes, it's the APD Africa Prosperity Dialogues 2026 under the theme Empowering SMEs, Women and Youth in Africa's single market. And it's simple: innovate, collaborate, and trade. So this is an all-important African meeting, and it's taking place right here in Ghana at the Accra International Conference Center from the 4th to the 6th of February 2026. It's a 3-day Africa Prosperity Dialogues APD 2026, and it will be accompanied by the Project Afrique exhibition, and the event will culminate with the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Gala Dinner at the Kempinski Hotel on the 6th of February 2026. So get to network with leading investors, access real funding, and learn how to trade across Africa's market of 1.5 billion consumers. So this isn't just any other conference, it's your avenue to enjoy continental success. Register now at africaprosperityNetwork.com, or you can WhatsApp +233 536 098 325. That's +233 536 098 325. Africa Prosperity Dialogues, where business and political leaders get to meet to drive Africa's single market of change. And remember, the guest of honor is Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. And this is in partnership with AFTA. So see you there from the 4th to the 6th of February 2026. Well, time for me to tell you about the Stanbic CIB Impact Series. You know, some see challenges, we see opportunities. Where others spot risk, we unlock value. At Stanbic Corporates and Investment Banking, we partner with businesses right here in Ghana, and of course, those who are driving Ghana and Africa's growth. So from energy to mining, infrastructure to trade, we finance the ideas and enterprises that empower economies. Our partnerships with market leaders in energy, trade, and mining sector, of course, it proves to be that when ambition meets expertise, growth is inevitable. And that's why I'm telling you about the Stanbic CIB. You can call 0302 815 789 to speak to our CIB team, or visit stanbicbank.com.gh to get started. Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, driving growth, creating sustainable impact. Welcome back, Doc. Yes, on Star Chats with Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, a leader, a servant, and an educationist. So let's talk about your flag bearer campaign. You've repositioned your campaign around a war against poverty, rather than solely on your education reform credentials. Can you share with us why you deployed this? And it's not just a slogan.
Yeah, it's not just a slogan, because I've seen other countries do it. In 1965, in the United States of America, Lyndon Johnson made a solemn pledge during campaign that he waged war against poverty and he will win that war. He did, by creating what became now the Great Society, parts of the United States of America where poverty was rampant. What he did was that he introduced a number of measures, and today there's equal opportunity and people are doing well. If you look at, I was watching a movie of Singapore. In 1965, when the Malaysians pulled out of the federation that they had created, Singapore was in dire straits. In that movie, Lee Kuan Yew cried. He went to hide for a few days and came back and said, addressed the nation and said, we are on a journey and we're going to take you to a different destination. We don't have all the resources that other countries have, but we, Singapore, are going to change our fortunes. And education was a centerpiece of the transformation agenda. When they started building factories, they quickly began training more engineers to run the factories so that they could change their fortunes. Today, Singapore
is going to Singapore.
Singapore is a great nation.
Right.
And can you believe that China under Deng Xiaoping, when they decided to transform China, move them away from poverty, they went to Singapore, that small nation, to learn from them. They also went to Japan. And I always say to myself, as a president, when you travel, one of the things that you're going to have to do is that you're on a steady tour. It's not about all the ceremonies and all the things, but you should be on a steady tour. Then Xiaoping goes to Japan, look at Japanese transformation, he couldn't believe that Japan was so far away ahead of them. What did he do when he came back? The first place he went to was curriculum reform, education curriculum reform, to the extent that they even changed the history curriculum, the Japanese history curriculum, because their history was talking about Japanese from a very negative perspective. But they said to themselves, if we want our children to do what Japan has done, then we need to change what they are learning about Japanese. It shouldn't be all negative. Wow. So it became a balanced history of Japan taught to Chinese students so that Chinese will also be able to aspire to become like Japanese. Then they changed their high school curriculum, junior high school, introduced physics, made sure they were teaching science for 54 months, as they call it. Then from there, they set a goal to produce 50,000 engineers a year. With that 50,000 engineers, then China sold itself to the world as the next destination for manufacturing. So companies around the world then flocked to China to take advantage of the cheap and quality Chinese labor. Village folk started moving to cities. Then they realized that they needed 200,000 engineers to run the show. So yes, they were hiring all these laborers, but they also have the engineers to really run the show. 200,000 engineers, then they said it's not enough, 800,000 engineers. Now they're doing about $1 million engineers. And what is happening in China is a marvel of the world. America is being given a serious competition. Serious run for their money. And China did not do this because all of a sudden they discovered a certain mineral. They were able to do it together with industrialization and everything they were doing, but the power, the engine was STEM education. And now they've engineered themselves out of poverty. Wow. China is the nation to look at. So if you're a student of development economics, you look at all these countries and you begin to ask yourself, what did they do right? And then you research to see, what is it that I need to do? I researched on how Ghana can become like Singapore. And my research told me that we cannot be growing under 10% a year. Economic growth rate cannot be under 10% if we want to be like Singapore. It will take about 25 years, but we need to have economic growth rate of not less than 10%. If you look at countries that are moving in that trajectory to become upper middle income and developed, their economic growth rate, Rwanda is doing 9% and all those things. We are projected to grow at 4% this year. My brother, it is not going to change our country. It doesn't matter what you do in the short term for people to get some relief, but you are not transforming your country. There's no organic growth when your growth rate is 4%.
We need some bold, audacious goals that are going to propel us.
I tell you that.
But the 24-hour economy is there. Mahama government says that we're doing that with the 8-hour shift.
Let me tell you, 24-hour economy, to me, is an outcome. It's not an input. It's an output.
How so?
Yes, how so? You see, if there's a major infusion of industrialization, right, and you have the engineers to man it, and companies are coming from abroad, and they are producing for the U.S. market, you need 3 shifts to get the work done.
But is that not what is being done? That it are creating the enabling environment for manufacturing. Now, cars are getting to be assembled here in Ghana. Those shifts, maybe it was just 8-hour shifts. Now with the 24-hour economy,
when there's a boom,
with stable supply of power, people can now run.
You see, the thing is this. You
think it's not feasible?
It's a noble concept,
okay,
but you get there when there is sustainability in that sector. When there's demand, high demand, companies produce for market.
Correct.
Companies produce for market. So the 24-hour economy is a vision, right? Good. But at the end of the day, do you have the foreign direct investment coming in? Do you have companies flocking to come here?
When are we marketing? Environment, those players, major players, will come, set up because they are going to actually sell or export to other countries because there's demand for it.
Yes. So once you create the demand and you are able to get foreign direct investors, the 24-hour economy is automatic because these companies in their countries, they all do 3 shifts. So you don't have to convince Samsung when they set up their factories in Ghana to do 20, because they automatically 24-hour. Most of these companies around the world do 3 shifts. So the focus should be, how do I get Samsung here? And to convince Samsung to come here, I should be able to tell them I have the engineers for you. To convince them to come here, I should be able to say that I have a graduate trainee program where my sociologists and others who have graduated are being retrained to become cybersecurity people. So banks around the world come to Ghana, set up operations in Ghana. I have the cybersecurity aspect that will help your banking sector thrive. And if Ghana become the hub of the banking industry in Africa, we have the cybersecurity aspect.
So you are saying, and I think that I get the point that you are trying to drive home, that invest in the human resource, get the people to work, train them, equip them, and then that 24-hour cycle will take off, or is automatic, is the output.
The bottom line is this. When you sell your nation, and when I'm the president of this country, there will be an office for job creation within the presidency.
An office for job creation
within the presidency.
But now we have the YEA, we have the NYA, and all of that. You want them to be under the office of the president? Why?
That will be my #1 preoccupation. The youth of Ghana are disenchanted. If we don't find a way to get them occupied and get them work to do, we are sitting on a time bomb.
Are you saying that there's going to be a coup in Ghana if we don't take care?
No, I haven't said
that. But you're
that.
saying we are sitting on a time bomb.
A time bomb means one day the youth will explode and say, we've had enough.
Yes, but if they've had enough, they'll be up in arms, and that is rising
up
against the government.
They don't have to be up in arms. They can express their opinion. They
but they are now expressing it on social media.
So Dr. Yaw Osei says, I'll deflate the anxiety.
Do you think the attention is in town?
I have to deflate that. Because if somebody has been looking for a job for 5 years and they can't find any, don't tell me.
But you are Minister for Education. Your government was in power. Now YE has employed people, over 5,000 people getting in there. The NYA is doing that. Police, of course, that is done annually. So it may be employment
You see, the thing is, but the employment is not catching up with how many we are producing. We need a dramatic approach, a strategic approach.
How many teachers were you taking on? There are a lot of teachers.
We hired over 90,000 teachers during our time.
But still people were at home.
Yes,
why couldn't you absorb them into the system?
How do you absorb people into a system to do what?
Are they not trained teachers?
You see, the fact of that, you see, Ghana happens to be the only country in Africa that I know of where we have surplus teachers.
Oh, really?
Yes. Other places, they don't have them. When you go to international conferences and Australia talks about teacher shortage, America talks about teacher shortage. So what we need to do is that the ones that we can employ, that is why one of the first things I'll do when I become president, when I'm elected, before I take over, will be to do manpower needs assessment. You see, when I talk about the golden age of job creation, it begins with manpower needs assessment. How many cybersecurity experts do I need? How many teachers do I need? How many nurses do I need? Then you produce towards that. So what it means is this. If I know that I need IT, instead of going to India to get these Indians to come here and work, I need 100,000. Then I can convince people who do sociology and give them a one year introduction to IT for them to do 2 years, 3 years, and they have an IT degree, because that is where the jobs are. But if you don't have a manpower needs assessment, then you are shooting through the dark. Your universities are producing people for whom the jobs don't exist.
But then, not to come, but I'm listening to all these fine ideas. You're a good gentleman, you're a builder, you're a visionary, a transformer. But you are in government.
No, I like how you say it. Yeah. President Akufo-Addo, was he not in government?
Yes, he was.
Did he do free senior high school when he was in government?
No, when he became president.
Yes. Okay. There are certain things that are done by presidents. So you need
that mandate or mantle.
Yes. And when I get that mandate, that is why when I told you my economy will grow over 10%, then what it means is that my ministers will have key performance indicators. I'll tell the mineral resources, lands and natural resources, say, I need a 5% growth here. Tell me how you're going to do that. Let's have a plan for you to do that. Agric, I need this percentage here. I put it all together. I know I will see 10%.
Did the former president that you served?
It's not about the former president.
Did he give you a KPI? Did you have a KPI for education to say?
Me, the president told me, I want you to transform education.
Okay.
Fortunately for him, he has somebody who could do it. And Nanado always tell me, you have exceeded my expectation.
Oh, the president told you that?
Yes.
That you exceeded his expectation?
Yes. He said, I brought you. He, the one who directly invited me to come to Ghana.
Right.
I was in America. He came visited my school and he said, would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? So I was on his direct invitation. I came.
Did he tell you you'd be the substantive minister?
Oh, no,
and then give you deputy?
No promise made. He wanted me
but he knew that you go to the education
sector. So when I won the MP and then he won his presidency, I knew I was going to education. He asked me to become a deputy education minister. I liked it. It was a good time to
it was just a matter of time.
Oh, yes. I knew it was just a matter of time. Wow. So when it was time for me to go, he called me and said, I brought you. It's your time. And I stepped in, doing exactly what he wanted me to do, change the education system for me. So at the end of the day, presidents have some determination. They are something that brings them to presidency. So when I tell you that I wage war against poverty, that is something I'm going to do through golden age of job creation, through the creation of livable wages. If you're a company coming to Ghana, and I'm going to give you tax waiver.
Okay.
I want you to create livable wages. Livable wages mean you're going to pay workers in my country at a certain rate comparable or close to what you have paid standards. And if you are able to do that, I waive taxes for you.
Oh, you do that?
Yes. Because you see, I'm getting the taxes from the employees. I waive corporate taxes for you, but I'm getting income taxes from my Ghanaian employees that you are paying well. So it's not that rigid though. Sometimes say, why are we giving them? But so far as you are going to pay livable wages, you deserve to get corporate tax reduction.
That is some hope right there. And I'll link it to your hope tour. During the hope tour, you emphasize unity and fresh wave of support across regions. How will your anti-poverty agenda reconcile NPP's internal delegate dynamics?
I think the delegates of this country, for the NPP, are looking for somebody who will unify the party in the first place and who Ghanaians will embrace. You see, when it comes to selection of flagbearer, unlike selection of a chairman for our party, delegates are not selecting for the party only. They're also selecting that person for Ghana. So they are looking at somebody who will unify the party in the first place because they are very concerned about that. That's why in Dr. Adutwum's campaign, none of my followers or myself will say anything negative about the other four contenders. I always say I don't have enough time to talk about myself. Why should I spend time talking about others? So you're not going to find that as part of my campaign.
You are a unifier?
Yes, because when I win, nobody will say that you insulted my candidate, so I will not run around you. I won't support you. None of the followers of the four other contenders will be able to say Dr. Adutwum said some insulting thing, or the followers of Dr. Adutwum said something negative about my follower. Therefore, we need a reconciliation tour to go and reconcile. You insult somebody, and after the insults, you go and beg him to forgive you.
You think that is a no-no?
No, because they may say publicly that forgive him, but the followers will never forgive you. So Dr. Adutwum is saying, when you delegates, when you select me as your leader, I'll bring all the factions together. We'll have a unified party. And beyond that, we'll go to Ghana. You know, none of the parties in Ghana have enough people that can put them in the presidency. None. You can get about 41. Yes. You need independent voters. You need my colleague teachers. And for the first time, there's going to be a teacher in the Jubilee House.
I love the way you put. For the first time, there's going to be a teacher as president. So the teachers
from the classroom to Jubilee House.
Wow.
It will be a great day for our nation.
Yeah?
And children are also going to.
Are you now courting the teachers' union and all the teachers out there that look, this is your man. The time has come for your own.
I think you've said it very well for me. Yeah, the time has come. Yeah, and when I go to areas where cocoa is prominent, I also tell them the son of a cocoa farmer for the first time is going to be in Jubilee.
It means that the various blocks Dr. Adutwum is there. You are coming from the street, you identify with their pain and their hustle. You are coming from the cocoa farm where you believe that as a son of a cocoa farmer who used to trek to the farm, to school and all of that, you are one of them. You are a teacher.
Wow. And I'm humble.
You're humble.
Because there's no reason, I cannot find an excuse to be arrogant. I can't find it.
So those who say that, oh, he disdains people, he looks down upon people, he's not friendly, he's not there for, what do you say to such people?
Tell them get to know him.
Get to know you. So maybe you just love to be in your space. It's as if you just
people wrongly that I don't like to talk. Me, yeah. I talk more than anybody. but I do purposeful talking.
I love that.
I do purposeful talking.
Right. You openly praise former President Anado's leadership. How do you envision building on his legacy while also, distinguishing your own vision for the NPP going into 2028?
That's why I said that every president has something that they do and they do well. And to me, he had a vision to transform education. And in spite of all the challenges, something great has happened in that space. I want to build on that foundation and take this Ghana to a certain level. The level where we can really confront poverty and say that if you're a market woman, we are willing to give you a grant, not a loan, to boost your business. We are willing to support you to do well in your space. We are willing to do infrastructure transformation in this country. But you cannot talk about doing infrastructure without the engineers that will help you do the quality infrastructure. So there's this linkage that whatever you have to do, don't forget STEM. In agric, new varieties are coming up. You see, when you go to Brazil, the same size of land that will give us 50 bags of cocoa, it will give you 150 bags in Brazil. They are irrigating cocoa farms. And it's not that difficult to do. Recently, a group of young people and an organization called Dream Over, they did a STEM exhibition. And some young students from a junior high school had come up with a device that you can put into the soil. It will tell you whether the soil has enough water in it or there's limited humidity and everything. And they also are able to tell you what kind of fertilizer you need to have in the soil. If
developed engineer here in Ghana.
Junior high school students. If you are able to commercialize this and it's on the farms, all that you need is a tank, a water tank, a borehole, and cocoa farms will be irrigated and the yields will be unbelievable. So you get them out of poverty by improving yields on the farms. You have to move from peasant agriculture to commercial agriculture. You have to ensure that universities where we're doing agric has also have farm campuses. In Afram Plains, Ken UST must have a campus there for agriculture. And for 1 year,
that's a brilliant,
1 year for students to go there and practice agric, and then the lands are there, but make sure that they have quality schools there, quality hospitals, everything that needs to be there, so that the young will be attracted to agric as an enterprise to become part of middle class. So we set up a prosperity center.
Touching on that, I interviewed Dr. Sam Jonah last week, and he mentioned that, look, we need schools to have their own farms, have their centers, and grow what they eat at the dining hall. The students will be happy to work on the farm and all of that. Is this something that is laudable, that instead of the school feeding, we can even get the schools, empower them to do that? Is this something you subscribe to?
Oh, yes. I subscribe. And I don't know if it was your interview when he said, if we don't invest in STEM education, forget it.
Exactly. He mentioned.
Yes. Forget it. 24th, the fourth industrial revolution, 21st century. If you don't do STEM, you forget it. You are lost. And the whole world will be ahead of you. So when I talk about a war against poverty, I'm saying through agric, make people wealthy. But you begin with this idea of a prosperity center, a place that anybody can walk into and ask people there, how can I prosper?
Wow. Your honest assessment of where Ghana stands politically. Are we progressing? Are we stagnating?
You see, the thing is this. If you ask anybody this question, invariably, they will do a comparison with another country and say, look at this country. They are in a very difficult place. I always talk about two guys who are behind me at the domestic airport a few years back after I landed there. They were behind me, they were laughing, and I was wondering, why are these people laughing? So I eavesdropped on them, and they were saying that, look at Ghana's domestic airport. It's better than that of the international airport of Niger.
Wow. Wow.
So they were very happy. Then, obviously, I was listening to them, and they kept on saying, Ghana, we are blessed. And I agreed. Of course, I couldn't interject or say anything to them. But in my mind, I was saying to myself, why are they not comparing our international airports with that of Dubai? So we are sometimes caught up in this web of mediocrity. And I call that the African mediocrity syndrome, where you look at your situation, you compare it with another, it makes you happy.
But maybe it's just a continental thing. They feel that this is where we are, but you feel that we should think beyond.
Because I don't understand why in 1960 we were richer than South Korea, and today they are richer than us. At the time of independence, we had more reserves, foreign exchange reserve, than Canada. Where are they now? Where are we now? I'm not saying we haven't done some good things politically.
And that was my question.
But the point I'm saying is that if we are not careful, our success will be used against us, because we have succeeded compared to other countries. If you are not careful and you're a politician, you don't push yourself.
But are we on the right tangent? Are we doing well comparatively? Yes, I know we can compare ourselves to the UK, to the USA.
No, I know politically we're doing well, but to me, when people, 1 out of every 3 Ghanaian is poor and may, God forbid, die poor, I can't rest. It's a no-no for me. When we talk about longevity, by 61, people are dying. You go to towns and villages, you see pictures of young men and women posted there, you think they are going to have a wedding. You read carefully and it says, gone too soon. What a shock. Painful exit. We are exiting painfully too soon. And as a politician who cares about this country, I'm not happy with it. As of June this year, 1,900 people have died on our roads compared to 1,600 the previous year. It's unacceptable. The 1,600 the previous year was still not acceptable. I think there has to be a sense of urgency. As president of this country, I will cut road accidents by 50% my first year in office. How? The roads minister, health minister will have to come together. Why do I say that? Because I'm going to give my health minister, his most important KPI is going to be longevity of the Ghanaian.
Oh, okay. So you want the mean age of
75 before 75. We die. Whoa. So when you are my health minister, you are taking on a task that calls for you to have an action plan for Ghanaians to live long. So what does that mean? Apart from limiting childhood deaths and all those things, you are now going to look at how do I get Ghanaians to live long? And what it means is that you are now going to sit down with your people and say, healthcare. When people get to the hospitals, how do we take care of them? How do we get people to go to the hospital when they are not sick? And people are going to say, even those who are sick, we don't have space for them in the hospitals. How do we get those who are not sick? If I go to Kolebuna and tell the nurse, Madam Nurse, I want to come and see the doctor, and say, are you sick? He say, no, I'm not sick. I want to come and do a medical check. He will think I'm crazy. So what do? You can go the way of Brazil, where you have health personnel who go to homes and do their checkups for them.
So more preventive than curative.
Yes, because when it's about cure, we don't have the wherewithal in terms of the equipment and the tools to cure the way Americans would do. So the best thing to do is don't allow them to fall sick. And so longevity is the key performance indicator I'll give to my health minister, that I want Ghanaians to live long. Because in this life that we find ourselves, if we are dying at 61, How are we contributing to the transformation of our nation when we are dying early? And now research is saying between 60 and 70, that is when your brain is really developed and can do some big things. And that is where we lose majority of our people. And I believe that as a nation, there has to be a greater sense of urgency. As president, my most important healthcare indicator will be longevity.
Interesting. Now let's get to meet you. When the microphones are off and the titles are set aside, who's Yaw?
Yaw Osei Adutwum, a village kid who got lucky.
I love that. That should be the title of your book, you know.
A village kid who
got lucky. How so? Tell us about growing up.
Growing up, when I was 3 years old, my father left Jachi. There's a town called Prenyinase, where he was the chief. Okay. He left and went to Mansour Memfi. By that time, he had gone to be an apprentice under the tutelage of his uncle at a Sushiaye in Ahafo, and also Krofa in Asante Achim. His uncle was a cocoa farmer in all these towns, and he had gone with them growing up. Okay. And then when he came of age, he became the chief. And then one day my mom goes to him and says, this chief thing is not going to take care of the children.
Oh, so the chief left his village?
Oh, yes. He abdicated. He went.
Abdicated
his yeah. And went and became a farmer in Mansour, a village in Mansour Memfi. Mansour Memfi is in the western region. You walk 10 miles to get to where we located, Antubam. There was no car at the time. You just walk.
Masawa bread.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
there was no car. So you walked 10 kilometers.
10 kilometers. 10 miles actually.
10 miles.
Yeah. So my feeble legs at 3-year-old took me there, and then at Antubam you walk another 2 miles to his hamlet, the real hut, called Nyamebechre. God will provide. So everything was by the providence of God. God will provide. When I was about 7 years old, I was brought back to Ashanti region, to Jachi, to go to school. Because the schools there at Antubam was just class 1 and class 2. Okay. So they couldn't leave me there. So I had to come back to Jachi. So every vacation, long vac, shorts, wherever it is, we go back there.
To Antubam?
Antubam.
Wow. What were you doing as a child? Were you were you working on the farm as well?
You're going to talk about child labor.
Yes.
Go to those villages and I'm on vacation. It is called internship.
At age 7,
as it's an internship, because when you go, the children have the child's role.
That's right.
Yeah. So when they pluck the cocoa from the trees, you pick them up, put them in a small basket, you carry them to a place where they are going to break the pods.
Yeah, pods.
You break the pods. So those are happy moments when all the village kids come and we are breaking the pods. That's the day they will cook some rice, and it was a great day for our cocoa farmers. Wow. So when there's a huge bumper harvest, you have the cocoa in like a mound.
And how many children from your dad's side? How many were you?
How many?
Yes.
My mom's side had 9.
9?
That's
a big family. Just from your mom's side?
My mom's side. Wow. And then my dad had other children.
The father was a great man.
Nah, by Asante standards. So at the end of the day, this was my life. And I passed the common entrance. And had to go to secondary school. Then my dad was struggling. I thought when you are young, you think your dad is very rich. Yes. So my dad comes to tell me that there's no money.
Your father couldn't pay for you to
40 cedis.
You were a bright student. You had passed the common entrance.
I had the highest score in my middle school. In fact,
in your village.
In my village. So I was being celebrated. The guy had the highest score. 40 cedis deposit. Then one day, my younger brother got an idea that saved me. It was 3 weeks school was about to open and no money. And then my younger brother said, what about if you went back to Jachi and sold this pig that I have? He was taking care of my uncle's piggery. Okay. And they giving some of the offspring who had grown to be a big pig. And so he said, why don't you go and sell it? So I told my dad that Thomas has volunteered that he will give the pig for us to sell. Maybe that will give us the money. Wow. So I then...
you're a child, a little boy taking in, decisions. Like, you were how old? You were like maybe 14, 15?
14, 15. Wow. So we then, the farmhands, the laborers took me to the roadside, picked up a car, came to Kumasi, Jachi. My uncle sold the pig, and with that, I got 42 CDs. 42 CDs, and I was so happy. 42 CDs was it. I needed 40.
Just enough for your school fees.
To pay. And you mentioned Kumasi High. No, Kumasi High was sixth form. Jache Pramso. I couldn't have attended Kumasi High. I needed to buy a trunk and chop bus to go to. No, this was a day student. No chop bus, no trunk. They gave me prospectus item, shorts, a shirt. That's what I needed, and that was a huge struggle. But finally, they got the money for me. I bought my sandals.
You bought your sandals. So you used to wear sandals to school.
Oh, yeah. So I bought the sandals for Jache Pramso.
Oh, just one?
Yeah, of course, a pair. Hey, you want two? Two. Wow. How do I get two? So I bought it.
School uniform was one?
One pair.
So what, you wash them after school?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not easy. Then I was able to make it, then go to Kumasi High School, sixth form. And my younger brother who sold the pig, the irony was that when it was his turn to go to secondary school, there was no money again. See, cocoa farmers were interesting people. I always say that my father was not poor, but he had a cash flow problem.
Okay.
Serious cash flow problem. When it's not cocoa season, he doesn't have any. Because when the money comes, he used that in building a house. He start building a house in his town. That's the reason why he went to be a farmer. And he doesn't leave anything behind for other expenditures.
So the planning was a problem.
Planning was a problem. So my younger brother didn't get the opportunity. So when I was at Ken UST, he couldn't go to secondary school. So he was doing this work with my other brother, cane chairs. They were doing the one they do in Osu.
Okay.
Yeah, the cane rattan bamboo chairs. Yeah, the rocking chairs. All those things.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
was a junior brother, the one who actually assisted you to go to secondary school.
And he and my other brother, they team up, and that's the work they were doing in Kumasi. Okay. They had this place by the roadside, and that's where they were close to Asokwa, where the Oak Plaza is.
Oh, right.
That building was not there at the time. It was all sawdust. But whenever I was on vacation, I work with them if I don't travel to Asa.
Oh, you also weaving?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know how to weave it.
You know how to weave?
Oh, yeah. I recently went to see the people at Osu, and they were shocked that the Education Minister knew how to do our work.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to do it too. So when I was tech, after lectures, I'll go there and work with them. And at that time, there were a number of white people in Asukwa and all that, and they were the ones who were buying most of these cane chairs. So when they stop, I'll go down and negotiate with them. And sometimes the tech professors will stop. And when they recognize me as my economics professor recognized me, you were in my class. I say, I'm here selling. Wow. Yeah. So then he didn't get to go. And one day I went back there, he said, can you help me travel to Germany? Because I can't sit by the roadside all this while. At that time, he had also started going to do English language classes at Institute of Languages. Right. So he said, can you help me go to school in Germany? But I said to myself, I couldn't tell him. I said, how can a middle school leaver go to school in Germany? At least you must have O-level or A-level. But I didn't want to tell him. Then I got an idea. I always say God gave me an idea. And I told my brother, you know what? Maybe I can apply for him to go to a German language school to study German language. And I applied for him, they accepted him. And then my father then goes and borrow against his cocoa farm from some guy so that we can buy the ticket for him to go. So we're all happy. And then we went to the German embassy and they said he will need a sponsor who has a foreign bank statement. Foreign bank statement. My whole clan, nobody has a local bank statement. Talking about foreign bank statement. So it was we felt so bad. I was walking into Republic Hall, and that's why my hall of residence, and I was telling a friend of mine that, it's terrible. Thomas will not be able to go to Germany because we don't have a foreign bank statement. A guy who had just passed us by, we didn't even look at his face. He ran back towards us and said to me, what do you guys want? And I said, foreign bank statement. He said, come to Unity, room 618. I have 2 of them, I'll give you one.
What?
My life has been shaped by the providence of God. And when I meet people on the campaign trail, I tell them how my brother got to go to Germany. And that's not the end of the story. He goes to Germany. I graduate from Tech. That's my national service. And at that time, there was a freeze on employment. So no job, even though I had done land economy and they could hire me at Lands Commission. Then one day I was talking to him and said, you know, I was asking him, bring money for us to build, buy land for you, to build a house. And he said, no. Some friends of mine who graduated from here have traveled to America and they're doing very well. So I want to sponsor you to go to America. Opportunity came, he sponsored me, and I went to America.
So he started, you came to take it up, and now he came.
Yeah.
You know, one good turn deserves another.
So he's the one who sponsored me to America.
To go to America?
Yeah, and then I go to America, become a teacher, and one day Americans were saying they wanted to change education in the country because public school students were not doing well. And they wanted people with great ideas to submit a proposal. They will give you the money to build the schools.
Wow.
So I submitted my proposal, first grant application I had ever submitted. One day before I went to church, I was a Sunday school teacher at Church of Pentecost. Before I went to church, I went to check online. My name was there. Yaw Osei Adutwum, New Design Charter School, has been approved for
build your
$500,000 grant.
You got $500,000. This is the guy from Jachi Pramso, from the cocoa farm, Antubam, to Los Angeles.
Yes.
500,000.
And when I
you
picked
couldn't
the
get
first,
40 CDs to pay your fees.
When I picked the first check of 50,000, and I put it in my car, and the passenger seat, I will always go and look at it. I thought somehow, even though the windows are closed, it will fly away. Never in my life did I ever
poverty. That's why you want to fight poverty.
I can't stand poverty. I've seen wealth. I've seen opportunity. And I've seen how people who came from nowhere get to somewhere. And I want a lot of Ghanaians who are coming from nowhere to get somewhere. And that is what drives me. So when I got the opportunity, I then went before the Los Angeles Unified School District Board, a board of about 15 people, to pitch my case to them so that even though I have the money, to allow me to build a school. That was a different header. So I went before all this white, but one black on the board, sold my case to them. I saw that the reception was poor. Then a mentor of mine who was watching me live on TV, an American, he called me and said, yeah, I saw you on TV. You were trying to sell this idea of a charter school to those groups. But I want to tell you one thing. You are a black man. Don't stand in front of a white council, a white board with no white man by your side. You have to get a white man to be part of your team. So I brought this white guy friend of mine. He stood next to me. And the guy who was giving me a tough time the first time, he asked him, are you part of the school project? And he said yes. That's what he needed. Wow.
Your life, God has always been in the details. You know, it's not time because of what you've also sown into the lives of others. The engineers that you mentioned, it's about time we get to meet them. So we'll walk through and just go and have that discussion with them as we do that. And when we come back, we'll talk about life in America and 2028 proper, how the campaign is going to roll out. And the primaries is on 31st of January. You are sure that come the 1st of February, I'll be talking to the flag bearer of the NPP?
Yes.
God willing.
God willing, you will. And I think the delegates, when they hear my story,
that's right,
they want their grandchildren to be like me.
We'll go out there and have that discussion. You're still on Star Chats. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're on Star Chats. My name is Bola Ray. We're sitting with the one and only YOA, I call him, Yaw Osei Adutwum. Of course, a visionary, a builder, and a transformational leader. So the Adutwum factor, that's what we want to experience now. We have some wonderful young people behind us. Doc, you want to tell us about these students before they even introduce themselves?
One day I woke up and I said to myself, how will it feel like if 100 engineers can come to your house and visit you one day? But at Bosomtwe, I knew I could not just invite engineers to come. We have limited supply of them. I had to create my own engineers for the visit to happen. Wow. And maybe end up in the Guinness Book of World Records. That I got a visit from 100 engineers. Right. For me to do that, I decided that my staff should travel across the length and breadth of Bosomtwe and look for students who pursued science in high school and had graduated, and they were just looking for opportunity to become engineers. Wow. So the first group, we got 31 of them, put them on a bus to UMAT, Takwa. And those were the group that whose graduation I was at November of last year. And they've all finished their national service.
31 of them.
31 of them. This year, 62
are going to graduate.
Yeah, they have actually completed school.
Oh, wow.
And they are going to be doing their national service.
Interesting.
Yeah, so within a period of about 4-5 years, I'll get about 20 medical doctors and 130 engineers.
20 medical doctors as well.
And 120 engineers.
Impressive.
And the first one to graduate had a fascinating story. In his case, when I was vying to become a member of parliament, I went to a palace in my constituency, Fiyase, and the chief was not there. So whilst waiting, I decided to go across the street and visit a classroom. It was there that I saw this young man who was answering all questions posed to him. They were teaching photosynthesis, and I was so happy I joined in. And this boy was answering all the questions about photosynthesis. But I always noticed that his uniform was not the best. And I asked him to bring his mom to my office at Jache. After my meeting with the chief, I go to Jache, and the young man was there with the mother. And the mother, I said, "Mom, do you need help with your son?" And he said, "The God of Pentecost is a prayer answering God. Last night I prayed unto God that God should provide opportunity for me to take care of this son of mine." He said, "I have 2 children. After marriage fell apart, the father took one and asked me to take care of this one. I only sell onions by the roadside. So life has been very challenging. So I'm grateful that I'm to take care." So I took him when he was junior high school, 2nd year, took care of him. There was no free senior high at the time, so I had to pay his fees at Opokuare. And then when he graduated, I sent him to UDS. And he's been inducted by the medical establishment, medical and midwifery.
The dental council.
Medical and dental council, rather.
Right.
And I'm going to be there next week.
Next week,
Yeah,
he becomes
next
a doctor.
He becomes a doctor.
No, you deserve a round
Doctor.
of applause. Wow.
Dr. Emmanuel Ajiman. So the last day of his school, he calls me and said, "Daddy, I'm now a medical doctor.
Wow.
Thanks to you."
God bless you.
And that is what makes me believe in politics, that politics can be a force for good.
That's right.
If I had not become a politician, I wouldn't have met all these people in my constituency.
And it's now time for us to meet them. We'll start off. They say ladies first.
Some of them have already graduated.
Okay.
And a few are in school.
Right. So
Some
tell us where they are.
National
now.
service.
Yes.
And
so we start off with this sweet lady in blue. What's your name?
Please, my name is Mary Dufia Ampoma.
Okay.
I offered geomatic engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I did geomatic engineering, and I just completed my national service at Ghana Highway Authority, Accra.
Wow. You're a big woman. Thanks to God.
Thanks to God and
Dr.
Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum and the Scholarship Secretariat. God bless you very much.
Thank you, Mary. So after Mary, who do we have? And we can pass the mic on. Yes.
Yeah, Irene Dusakode. Yeah, I offered mechanical engineering at KNUST.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm from Asirasa Adija. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Yes, gentlemen.
I'm Yaw Osei. I'm from Abontem in the Bosomcho District. I did geomatic engineering, University of Mines and Technology. I'm done with my national service at WHO Quantum Takwa site.
Wow. You know, all of you as you introduce yourself, maybe later on when you start working and earning the money, we should set up a fund so that it will be a revolving fund
to take care of others.
Take care of others as well. I think it's a great foundation. What's your name, madam?
Please, my name is Belinda Dubietia, and I'm from Starr in the Bosomcho
So you're all
District.
in the constituency?
Yes, please.
Wow.
And
I offered geological engineering, and I'm yet to start my NSS.
Wow. Great.
I'm Prosper Poku. I studied electrical and electronics engineering at KNUST.
Wow.
I recently graduated. I'm here to do my national service.
Fantastic.
I'm Beatrice Akuto Fojo. I did electrical and electronic engineering at the University of Mines and Technology. I'm here to do my national service. I'm from Jache.
My hometown.
Yes, your hometown.
I'm also Asarima from Maxwell.
Yes.
I did mechanical engineering in University of Mines and Technology, and then I just graduated, waiting for my NSS to be done. So
all right, then.
wait.
Sure.
I'm Emmanuel Usu. I'm from Jache. I did computer science and engineering at University of Mines and Technology.
Fantastic.
And did my national service at Ghana National Petroleum Corporation.
So we are going to retain you. You're a big man.
We are
Computer
praying.
science.
We are praying.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
please.
praying. That's right.
I'm Abdul Fattah, a recent graduate from the University of Mines Technology. Last year, actually.
Okay.
I completed with a degree in mining engineering. I'm from Jache.
Mining engineer, we'll need you in the Galamsey issue. Yeah, you have to come up with a policy for us and the way out. Great. So can we pass the microphone? Or we have some
Someone
more? Okay, sure. Please go
There are
ahead.
so many.
I'm
Okay.
Bafowa Precious. I offered computer engineering at KNUST,
Okay.
and I'm yet to do my national service. I'm from Ebutoja,
And where are you looking at going?
ECG.
ECG.
Yes, please.
You have to go.
No, we have to visit your constituency. Now you are making me laugh because if all these brilliant minds are coming from Bosom Trade, that's a great constituency.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. Yes.
I am the person of Adepoku Wakins. I'm from Apinkra. I offered electrical and electronic engineering, and I'm yet to start my national service.
Fantastic. Okay, who next? Can we pass the mic?
I am in the person of Ezekiel Safo Martins. Yes. And then I hail from Akwadru at Bosom Trade District. I read mechanical engineering, and then I'm yet awaiting for my national service posting.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Bonsu Samuel. I read petroleum refining and petrochemical engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I'm done with my national service at Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited, Bost. Yeah, I'm from Jachi Pramso.
I'm Kojo Samoa, and I offered environmental and safety engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I had the opportunity to do my national service at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, all thanks to Dr. Adutwum.
Wow, that's great.
I'm Dawu Kwekwampoma. I read electrical and electronic engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I'm from Jache. I'm here to do my national service as well.
I am Ajaman Sarkodiofu. I read environmental and safety engineering from University of Mines and Technology. I had my national service at Underground Mine Alliance, Newmont Ahafo South Mine.
I'm Upuku Ibini Sapon. I did electrical and electronic engineering. I'm from Humabenasi, and I'm yet to do my national service.
Humabenasi. You are hearing some town.
I know, right? Yes. Are we done from this side? So you don't need to walk. We can pass the microphone.
I think there's some.
Okay, sure.
I'm Ankwa Gilbert. I offered electrical and electronics engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I'm from Opituja. I'm here to start my national service.
Okay. So you can pass the mic.
My name is Obian Jesa Kodia from Jachi. I read electrical and electronic engineering at UMAT, and I did my national service at Goa.
At Goa? So are you staying? Hopefully so. That's good.
My name is Emmanuel Webu Maulikpilim. I completed my BSc in geological engineering from University of Mines and Technology. And I also completed my national service with Anglo-Wood Ashanti Obuasi Mine. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Obiama Kwaso Wester. I'm from Abrankasi. I studied computer engineering, and I recently did my national service with Ghana National Petroleum Corporation.
My name is Philippa Shea Dakwa. I just completed the University of Mines and Technology. I studied computer science and engineering. I'm yet to do my national service, and I'm from Esereso in the Bosom District.
Okay, great.
My name is Frank Amanko Adams. I stay in Espresso Adija. I pursued BSc Electrical and Electronic Engineering in UMAT, and I have completed my national service. Looking forward to the next chapter.
Fantastic. Wow.
I am James Ousu Ejei. I'm from Pianse in the Bosomche District. I offered geological engineering, and I did my national service at Ghana National Petroleum Corporation.
I'm Apia Silas. I read computer science and engineering in the University of Mines and Technology, and I had a chance to do my national service at the Environmental Protection Authority. Initially, it was agency, yeah, and I come from Jachi.
Okay.
My name is Abdul Latif Idris. I offered civil engineering at KNUST. I completed this year, here to start my service. I'm from Upper West Region, one municipality.
I made one exception for a chief who came to see me.
Ah, right.
Opokusa Akode Desmond from Jache. I did electrical and electronics engineering, UMAT. I completed 2024 last year, and I did my national service with Anglo Good Ashanti of Wasimai.
There are a lot of Sarkodie, eh? You are the deaf. Okay.
My name is Osei Adutwum. I did mechanical engineering.
Right.
I stay at Fiyasi.
Okay.
I'm here to do my national service.
Great.
My name is Kofi Educhumenti. I completed this year Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I read metallurgical engineering. I'm also in Fiyasi, Bosomche District. I'm here to start my national service.
I'm Isaiah Clifford from Esweswa Deja. I completed KNUST and then I'm here to start my service.
My name is Boachi Bismarck. I'm from Syria. I studied computer science and engineering and I'm waiting for my postings.
My name is Masa Akosida Kojesi. I'm from Feyase. I completed this year and I'm awaiting my national service posting.
Sure.
My name is Alhassan Mubarak, and I studied computer science and engineering at University of Mines and Technology. I'm from Jache, and I'm waiting for my national service to start.
Please, my name is Mustafa Abdurrahman. I did computer science and engineering. I also had the opportunity to do my national service at Ghana Oyo. I stay at Jache Pramso.
Right.
My name is Simon Frimpong. I come from Eputuja. I studied computer science and engineering at the University of Mines and Technology. I also had the opportunity to do my service at Ghana National Petroleum Corporation.
My name is Osei Richard. I completed UMAT. I offered environmental and safety engineering. I'm here to do my national service.
Right.
From Bodikano.
Unto the Lord be the glory, great things he has done. My name is Osu Kinsley Dankwa from Fiyasi in the Bosomche District. I read electrical and electronics engineering in UMAT, completed recently, and then yet to do my NSS.
Okay.
My name is Opoku Joshua from Espresso. I read natural gas engineering, and I'm here to be posted.
Okay, thank you. So thank you guys, amazing. Now we want two of you. We elected two of you to speak, and Mary, you are one of them, right? What do you have to say before we get back to Doc?
As I already said, my name is Mary Dufia Mpoma. My father is a mason, and I am from Feyase.
Wow.
After SHS, I also had the opportunity to enjoy free SHS thanks to Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum. God bless him very much. And after SHS, I had no hope of entering into the university. But a friend of mine called me that Dr. Osei Adutwum is offering scholarship for students who are interested in pursuing engineering. So I quickly sent my scholarship application letter together with my WASI results. I completed Kumasi Anglican Senior High School. So I sent my particulars and I was asked to purchase forms at UMAT, admission forms, and I did that. And I got the opportunity to offer geomatic engineering there. And I was called by the Dr. Osei Adutwum Scholarship Secretariat to come for interview. And by God's grace, I passed the interview.
And here you are as an engineer. I have goosebumps all over. The daughter of a mate. Are you tearing up? I know God has been good.
And right after that, Doctor didn't end with just giving us a scholarship award letter. He paid our school fees in full. Wow. He paid our hostel fees in full. Wow. He gave us monthly allowances and stipends. He made sure that we had a conducive environment to study. And I'm very grateful to Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum for this big vision that he has had and didn't just make it worse. He brought it out and made it with actions. He said he's waging war against poverty, and it was not just words. He has really done it, and he's made the world and beyond Ghana. Everybody knows what Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum has done, and I am a testament of what he has been doing. And I'm encouraging the youth out there to take advantage of every opportunity that they have. They should keep studying. They shouldn't wait to hear good or big words before they take their study serious, because you don't know when opportunity will come. Opportunity comes, and success only comes from it when you are prepared. So they should take their education serious. And also to our dear delegates, I plead with you that the youth And the future of Ghana lies in the hands of Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum. He has done it. It's not just about words. He has done it. Actions are speaking.
Manager, don't worry. Who will be the second and final one to speak? And then we'll say thank you to you. So can we get a male to volunteer, or we have a lady to do that? We don't mind. Who's next to speak? Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, my name is Yaw Osei.
Right.
A geomatic engineer. Thanks by Dr. Osei Adutwum's foundation and the Free Exchange policy. First of all, I want to thank the Almighty God for giving us all the energy and the vitality for us to come here this afternoon and giving us the strength and the hope that our dear father, Dr. Osei Adutwum, will be the next president, God willing. Yes. Staying in Takwa is very hard. The standard of living in Takwa is very hard, but by God's grace and the help of Dr. Osei Adutwum, we had no problem with our 4-year stay in Takwa. Yes, and I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Osei Adutwum for such an opportunity.
You're most welcome.
Yes.
Most welcome.
After completing our school too, NSS placement became an issue. But with Dr. Osei Adutwum, he made everything possible for us. Just asked you, where do you want to do your national service? You just mentioned the place. He'll work it out for you. We thank God for that too. And I want to ensure all of you that if you give him the power, he will do everything right, especially for the youth, because we are the future of the nation. So please, the youth, do well to vote for Dr. Osei Adutwum. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. So guys and ladies, thank you very much, for coming, and we wish you the very best. And like we said, it's been paid forward. You also have to go out there, hold hands, and help others. Okay? Thank you. And we'll meet on the other side. Thank you. All right, so Doc, I think that they can stay and we'll just be wrapping up. So just stay with us. So Doc, let's go. Are you married?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. Let's get to meet your wife. Who is she? How do you meet her?
I actually met her in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles?
Yeah.
The church. So you didn't want our women back home?
Oh, he's a Ghanaian.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't want to come back home.
He's a Ghanaian from Jabi.
How do you guys meet?
At church. I mean, of course, when you go to church, you have your 2 eyes open.
Were you there to worship God, or you were there searching?
Yeah, after prayer, you open your eyes.
You shine your eyes, and you found this jewel.
Yes. From Jabin in Ashanti region, and she has been such a help and in everything that I've done.
Wow.
I think without his support, I couldn't have done what you see here. Because if you're going to spend all that money on other children, and you have your own children.
How many children?
Three. So it takes a caring mother who not only cares about her children, but cares about society as a whole. To say that go ahead and support. And when we went to UMass during the graduation, she was there. Every year we do New Year reception, and she's always there with my sons and all the other children. They come because they feel they are proud of Dad for stepping out to help others. So they are now being born into a bigger family. So they have so many siblings.
Fantastic.
And that is, and beside this group, I also have a few others that divine providence pointed me to at certain times, and I just grabbed them and help them. And some of them are not part of this group, but they are all doing well, and these have become my children.
Certainly, and we're talking about a life of impact, like I mentioned, and a legacy as well. But in all of this, how do you maintain, the balance between being a husband, father, educator, minister, aspiring national leader? How do you maintain that balance, Doc?
I think you always have to look at the stresses of life and other things, the joys of life that keep overcoming the stresses to keep you going. You see, whenever things are difficult, I look back and say, I've helped humanity. Through me, others have impacted, and their children and grandchildren. Can you imagine your grandma is an engineer?
Right.
I mean, I never imagined my grandma was never an engineer. So you see, these young ladies who are here are going to have children.
That's right.
And their children's children. And I said, my great-great-grandmother was an engineer.
Proudly.
So if your great-great-grandma was an engineer, are you going to really not do better for yourself? You're going to do it. So it's not just them, but the generation yet unborn are going to find inspiration from them. And that, to me, is the most important thing. The essence of life is when you have made an impact on others. And essence of politics should be about, I'm here, and I'm here to help others become transformed so that their future will be different from what they will have gotten without meeting me.
Well said. And as we wrap it all up, we'll be coming to our mystery questions. But your life has been one from the chalkboard to the cabinet room. A journey that was planned, but of course, most importantly, of providence. When all is said and done, Doc, what will Dr. Adutwum's final equation read? Success equals what?
Success equals the number of people impacted positively in life. To me, that's what matters. All that matters is that one day when you are no longer here, somebody will wake up and think about you and say, this man is gone, but had it not been for him, I would not be where I am today. And that is why I want to work and fight hard for us to eliminate poverty from the face of this country. So one day Lee Kuan Yew is remembered as Deng Xiaoping and all these people are remembered. Ghanaians yet unborn may remember Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum and say, we heard of him. Even if we were not alive when he was here on this earth, we heard of him and his fierce determination to change the course of history of our nation. This nation has to be changed. It has to be transformed. Whatever we are doing has not been enough. It doesn't mean we haven't worked hard, but we are not where we ought to be. And we have to get to where we ought to be so that people will wake up and with hope and optimism that their future is better. And the bright star of Africa, Ghana, must shine brighter. And there cannot be this freedom and justice, our motto, without equal opportunity for all, without opportunity for those who are struggling to find comfort in life, because us, the leaders, thought about them and did everything possible for them to succeed. When I'm on the street and when I'm driving by and see people with their children behind them selling on the street, I say to myself, what can I do so that the lives of these children at the back of their mothers will be different from that of their mothers? And that's what drives me every day. I wake up every day thinking about how can I make this nation a better nation than we came to find it. And that fear determination is what is going to allow me to bring together a group of people who are so inclined to change the course of history of our nation, to assemble ministers and other technical experts who want to change the course of history of our nation, want to create a better nation, want to leave a legacy. Because one day we'll not be here. When it's all said and done, when the curtain closes, what is it that people are going to remember us with?
A life of impact, indeed. And we'd like to say a very big thank you for this great sit down with us. It's now time for our mystery questions. We'll come back before we draw the final. So it's now time for you to
Are you still doing this?
Yes, we are. So the mystery questions are in there.
No.
Can you pick, two of them and read them
Two
out
of
for
them.
us? Yes.
Mystery.
Indulge us.
If Ghana were a student in your classroom, what grade would you give it today and why?
Why? Yes. You are an examiner, the big examiner. Ghana is in your classroom. A student.
In my class?
Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, from where we've come since independence, where will you put Ghana? What grade would you give it today?
I have to grade on the curve. Grading on the curve means I'm going to look at all the African countries.
Yes.
And say to Ghana that you have a B minus.
A B minus, that's not bad.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Because you see, in education, we've moved from number 16, according to Mo Ibrahim. We are now number 2 in Africa. We are number 1 in West Africa. So we haven't done badly.
That's for education. We are looking at the general ports, where will you place Ghana? Will it still be a B minus, economy-wise, health-wise?
If I'm putting Ghana within the contest, I'm grading on the curve.
Okay.
Yes, I will put Ghana there.
On B minus.
On B minus.
Then we're not doing badly. Are you the man to take Ghana to an A?
Yes. And I will, because it's not going to be about me.
Right.
It's going to be about how I change the lives of the teaming youth, how I create a golden age of jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. How do I get these young men and women to engage in jobs that pay them livable wages? How do I boost tourism in Ghana? I'll boost tourism by educating and training people in all hotels in customer service for free.
You will train all workers in the hospitality industry for free.
Free.
Wow.
Because
you believe that is a game changer, right?
Yes. You see, I can get the same, double the revenue that we are getting now from tourism if we have quality customer service. Wow. If a tourist comes to Ghana and the confident Ghanaian young lady goes to the man and says, "Is this your first time in Ghana?" He said, "Yes, my first time." "Enjoy your stay. This is a beautiful nation. Come back." That man may come back because of the confidence the Ghanaian youth demonstrated.
So it starts from even tourism.
Which also means that tourism will be offered as a course in Ghanaian high schools. Wow. And if you pursue tourism, you have to master one foreign language in addition to English. So that hotels across Ghana will have bilingual receptionists and people who can speak to people in their language. Hotels will have double signage of English and French, so that the French visitors across West Africa, this will be home. They enter, they know where is the toilet and bath, spelled in their language. And at the desk, reception desk, there will be French speakers who will make these people feel at home. Boosting tourism, creating jobs in tourism is something that I'll pursue vigorously, short term, long term, medium term. Short term, train people. Medium term, make sure we are studying tourism in high school. Most of the young ladies and men who are going to work in the hotels are not the university graduates. So if you do tourism at the university, what have you done?
In the high schools. Interesting. Our second mystery question will be...
Second mystery question. I hope it's not the one you asked me the last time. There was this question that you asked. I was lucky. What makes you confident that you are the right and best candidate to lead the NPP to victory in 2028, and why
Correct.
delegates should choose you ahead of your opponents?
Right.
Very good question. Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, I always believe that when things get hard,
And that's your camera.
when things get hard, divine providence meets me. When doors get shut, God opened doors for me where there seems to be no way. My life is an example of that. So delegates, I know you are going to be an instrument of God to be used to select a leader who will change the course of history of our nation. So consider yourself an instrument of God and do the right thing. Vote for Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum. I came into this world, I believe, to serve others. And I've done that all my life. And this is the time to go to the highest level of governance, to serve with humility and with purpose, and change the course of history of my nation. I'm number 4 on the ballot. And I believe that when you vote for number 4, you are voting for the prosperity of Ghana. So Dr. Yaw Osei Adutwum, I'm not better than any of the candidates, but God has given me the privilege of knowing how the future should look like, and I dream and see. I close my eyes and see a new Ghana. That new Ghana that I see is where I yearn to take the people of this country to. And that is why I want the delegates to vote for me.
Doc, what an interview, and it will go down as one of my best.
Wow. From
my heart straight up to you. Thank you for being brilliant, outstanding, eloquent on this show. Thank you. All we can wish you is the very best. And God willing, come the primaries, we wish you the very best. And 2028, we say go in there and offer yourself. And again, the very best we wish you. Thank you all for joining us for another inspiring, interesting edition of your #1 personality show, Star Chat. My name is Bola Ray. We'll catch you next week. Thank you.